Hey guys, it's Dr. Braddock. I haven't made a video for you in a while, and something happened a few days ago that really stuck out of my head, and I just really wanted to share it with you. I had a patient come in, and she was asking a question about her kids, because when she's in our office, she sees there's a tremendous amount of kids, all the way from just a couple of day-old babies to high school athletes, and every little kid in between getting adjusted non-stop in here and enjoying it. She said, my child, or children, a couple of children have allergies, have asthma, a couple of different problems. She said, just not quite sure how chiropractic can affect that. Like, what's the deal? How does that even work? And just real curious and inquisitive. So I was happy to explain it, and I thought, how many people out there have kids that are at home that are sick or that are suffering, that are having to take just a ton of medications and just not enjoying life, and especially as a parent. I have young children too, and if I had to watch them deal with that, man, that's heavy stuff. That's stuff that you don't want to have to deal with as a parent. So if there's a way that you could make an impact on that naturally, obviously you would want to take advantage of that. So I thought, why not share this message? Because God forbid there's people out there that don't know this information, but even worse, that there's patients that are coming here, all right? They're coming in my door, they're laying on my table and getting adjusted, but they're leaving their kids in the car to be sick. We just don't want that. We want the best for your children. So I always say, quite frankly, I tell patients, if I had to choose between you or your child, I'll choose your child, because the impact that we can have lifelong is just radical. So how does that work? How is the chiropractic going to affect asthma? How does it affect allergies? Why does some of these things resolve once we start to make an adjustment? And really the answer is simple. We're starting to influence the body's ability to deal with stress. We're exposed to stress day in and day out. Now, stress is an easy word, but when we say stress, we all think emotional stress, things like finances and traffic and, work and family and divorce and all those stressful things. But when it comes down to it, it can be physical stress, emotional stress, or chemical stress. So we all know emotional stress, that's what we just talked about. Physical stress would be lifting weights, sitting all day at school, wearing a giant backpack, sitting at a computer, car accident, sports injury, so on and so forth. And then finally would be chemical stress, which would be the crappy food that we eat, the preservatives, the toxins that we're exposed to, obviously our environment and our water, medications that people take. Those are all toxins that our body has to deal with. Now, God made a resilient body. He made it with the ability to cope with different types of stresses, to handle those stresses. However, once we start to overload that system, bad things tend to happen. No different than if it's your computer, and we all have computers, so this is an easy way to think about it. If you take a computer like mine and you start to open up PowerPoint and Publisher and Word, 3 or 4 tabs on the internet, 3 or 4 photo editing, video editing, you start to open all that up on the computer, it's meant to handle all those processes, but eventually you put too much on that computer's operating system and it starts to slow down, it starts to get sluggish, and eventually if things get bad enough, it's going to freeze that computer. So what do? We all know, Control, Alt, Delete, right? You reboot the system, you restart the system. The same thing's true of that body. That body is meant to it's designed to deal with those stresses. However, if you overload it, there's only so much you can expect. And trying to medicate your way out of that, or medicate the symptoms to cover up the symptoms, most of the time, not the best idea. So how does that work? Let me give you a quick idea here. When we look at the autonomic nervous system, that's what's actually controlling all of the organs, cells, organs, tissues of your body. I'm going to step behind here so I make sure you're actually seeing this. We know the brain, that's that computer, that's the essential computer system that's running everything. It's sending all the information down the spinal cord, which runs in the spine, and then out the nerves, just like a USB cord, to all the other things. So your printer, your copier, your scanner, your fax, or in this case, your heart, your lungs, your stomach, liver, gallbladder, intestines, colon, sex organs, all those things are fed by the nervous system. So if there is literally information flowing from the brain down the spinal cord, out the nerves, if that's flowing like a river and there's a dam in that river, we're going to expect whatever that is affected is going to start to shut down. We'll say that's your heart, or let's just say it's your printer in terms of a computer. We can buy a new one, we can try to have it repaired, but when it comes down to it, it's more our operating system not being able to operate the printer than the printer having a problem itself. That's exactly what we do with chiropractic. We want to take the pressure off the nerve. We want to restore normal life, optimum flow, optimum function, so your brain can control every cell, organ, and tissue of your body, whether that's how much stomach acid you should or shouldn't have, whether it's, how fast your heart should beat, how much urine your bladder should hold until you expel it, when we talk about like bedwetting or enuresis. All those things are controlled by the brain. It is the essential computer. That's why we make sure that all kids get their nervous system checked and they're getting adjusted or cleared so their body can handle that stress on a regular basis. I hope this makes just a little bit of sense. Last thing, I'm gonna appeal to you. I'm gonna make a plea that if this video has been helpful to you at all, if it has made just a little bit of sense to you, and especially if there's people in your life that you know who have kids that are always sick, or you know that day in and day out they're struggling and they're just not quite sure what to do. They've tried a lot of things, but they're just not happy with the options they've been given. Please just forward this video to them. Forward to people on your email address, on your email list, and hopefully we could change a life. That's what we're about here at our office. We're a mission-based office, and we want to get good information in people's hands so it empowers them, so they can start to make changes to really help not only them, but help their family, help their children, help a next generation. I look forward to seeing you soon on your next visit. If you have any other questions, feel free to give me a shout here at the office. The girls will give you my number. We'll talk until you have all the answers that you need. I look forward to seeing you soon. God bless.